Hey there, it's Laura Dominic. Thanks for joining me on a Plan for Joy podcast. Each week we'll be talking about things that will help you break the cycle of depletion. You know, the one that has you going from doing all the things to feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, resentment, anger, to sucking it up and starting all over again. And instead, learn to break the cycle and contribute from a place of abundance. Are you ready? Good. Let's go. Hello, and welcome to a Plan for Joy podcast. I am your host, Laura Dominic, and today we are going to talk about an area of your life that seems to affect more women more than any other area, and that's your environment. And specifically today, I'm going to be talking about your home, because that just seems to consume so much of our thought processes and our worrying time and our comparison and all of that other stuff, as mothers and wives and homeowners or renters or whatever you are. And so I want to take a little bit of time today to dive into this topic because it's so important. I saw this meme that said, good moms have sticky floors, messy kitchens, laundry piles, dirty ovens, and happy kids. And you know what? I'm going to call that out as BS. What a way to mess with the mindset and the confidence of a mother who feels overwhelmed by her environment. I get it's like social media's way of giving overwhelmed moms a pass, saying, don't worry about it because, you know, as long as your house is a wreck, your kids are going to be happy. Which is not true, because how many times, if your house is a mess and your laundry is not done and all that other stuff isn't taken care of, then you're a wreck, right? Sometimes the state of our house or the state of our room or the state of our desk is a reflection of the state of our mind. And so I don't think that's a good way to put it, because a lot of times you're so stressed because your house isn't giving you the peace that you need. And so therefore you're reflecting your mindset, your dissatisfaction onto your family. So how are they going to be happy? So unless you're happy about the state of your house, chances are your kids aren't gonna feel that happiness in you, and they're not going to be happy either. Okay. So I don't buy that one. So let's talk instead about how we can turn that thing around. What if I told you you could have both? You could be content with the state of your home, whatever that is, whatever brings you peace, and have happy kids all at the same time. And a lot of that is going to have to do with whether you're happy or not, right? That's what it's dependent on, not the state of your home. So I know that might sound like a pipe dream, but because, you know, if you look around, it seems like it's an all or nothing mentality. I can only have one. If I have to choose, what's it going to be? But that's not true. So let's get to the point of being content with our homes as well as fostering happy kids. Why not? We can have it all. So for reference, if this is your first time here, you haven't heard me say it, I'm homeschooling mom. I've been homeschooling for 25 years. I have 7 kids. So I have been in my house pretty much every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, you know, given time out for activities for 25 years. And so I think that's been why I've had to work so hard at this, because I would be trying to homeschool and I'm in my home. And so I'm seeing the state of everything. I'm seeing the kitchen. I'm seeing the laundry. I'm seeing the floors. I'm seeing all of that stuff all the time because I'm in that environment trying to do something else. So same thing goes for moms who now work at home. You're in your house. The only time you can escape that for a good portion of the day is if you work outside the home. Then you're away from your house. You don't have to think about it for a couple of hours. But my reality was I was in my house all the time. And so I had to work to be at a point where I was comfortable with it so I could focus on the other stuff that I was supposed to be doing. Okay, just for background point of reference. We all only have so much time in a day, right? So it's not like we're going to get more time. If you can hire out housework or figure out a way to have somebody cook your food or do your laundry or whatever, more power to you. That is phenomenal, because then it's off your plate. Somebody else is taking care of it. But if you can't, we need to really think about what needs to change in order for you to be content with the environment you are in, specifically in your home, because environment is one of the 7 main areas of your life, and it's important. It's important. We don't want to just brush it aside because it has an impact on our life. So when I was a homeschooling mom, I wrote a book, Plan for Joy in the Home, How to Organize Your Day for Homeschooling Mothers. And part of it was about chores. And I used to think that it was just a skill-based problem. Like, okay, and really for some people it might be that, but I noticed that for other people it wasn't. But my thought process was, can you set up and follow a routine? Okay, then you can organize a chore chart. And you can have a system in place. Do you know how to clean a house? Because I guess some people were not taught how to clean the house. I did not realize that. Do you know how to do laundry? Do you know how to, like the mechanics I'm talking about, do you know how to wash dishes efficiently, effectively, that kind of thing? Do you know how to engage your kids in age-appropriate chores? Are you disciplined enough to follow through on things? And is it important for you enough to follow through on things? Do you need to set boundaries so you're not overcommitting and running out of time to keep your house in order? Or do you need boundaries around your kids so that you're not letting them bully you into not doing chores? Me? Okay. Although my kids were pretty good at keeping up with their chores, so I'm going to give them definite credit there. So all the things I've listed are skills that you can learn. And if you take the time to learn them, pick one at a time. Don't try to learn all of them at the same time. You'll be more content with your home. So let's call that like the surface level, the skills you need to physically take care of your home. I did think of another thought while I was getting ready to do this, and that is maybe you just don't like your house. Okay, and so that's a whole different thing. You need to sit down with your spouse or yourself and just figure out, okay, I don't like my house. It doesn't work for me. I don't like the location, whatever. Therefore, I don't want to take care of it. Okay, I've always had horrible kitchen floors, so I never took care of them because I hated them. But you know what? I was okay with that. So it's all a matter of what you are okay with. And if you don't like your house, is there a way to fix it so that you do like your house? Okay, that's a whole different discussion too. We're going to assume that you like where you live, or you are in the process of changing it. If if there's something that's not working for you. I realized, okay, there's a deeper layer here, and I think it goes back to your mindset. So things like ADHD, depression, and hoarding can all be at play here. That's not what I'm talking about. If that is the case for you, if you can't seem to keep on top of your home to the point where it makes you content, then you need to look into getting professional help to deal with those ADHD, depression, hoarding, mental illnesses, things like that. Again, that's not what I'm talking about here because that's outside the scope of my ability. So get that taken care of, get the help you need, to take care of those, because they could have a huge impact on how your home runs. What I'm going to address is the negative Nelly that lives inside your head. Okay. And it says things to you like, you couldn't have a clean house if your life depended on it. What a horrible mother you are. You're always running away from your responsibilities. Don't you know it's more important to play with your kids than it is to take care of your home? Have you seen Susie's home? Look at hers. It's clean and neat, and her kids are great. I could never be like her. or really whatever other negative things are going on in that head of yours. Remember this point. You are the one who has to be content with your environment. It doesn't matter what anybody else's home looks like, how happy their kids look on social media, all that kind of stuff. The only thing you have to focus on is you and your house and your family. Don't let what you think other people's lives are like get in the way of that, because chances are there's a lot you're not seeing. We're going to try to improve your mindset around this and stop that negative Nelly from having a heyday in your head. And we're going to do something that I've talked about before called telling yourself a new story. We want to rewire the neural pathways in your mind and get your reticular activating system into high gear, pointing out and letting in the good positive thoughts. So here's what we want to do when we tell ourselves a new story. And you can do this multiple times a day if you want to, just to keep the positive thoughts going and engaging your RAS in a positive direction. So you could do something like, I am so glad that I have a nice home and happy kids all at the same time. I'm a good mother who looks after both. I'm learning new skills all the time. In fact, every day I'm getting better and better at the skills I need to learn. It is so exciting to learn new skills. I'm setting new boundaries and prioritizing the things that are important to me. I can do this. I can have an orderly home and happy kids all at the same time. My kids are happy in our home. I am happy in our home. Our home is a happy place to be. I love the way our home is shaping up every day. And then go on. Take a few minutes, write down sentences like that if you can't do it just like off the top of your head. You're going to keep telling yourself this new story, and guess what? If you can keep this up for a couple of days and keep that negative Nelly at bay, then your RAS will allow more and more ideas into your mind that support this happy home and these happy kids, because your RAS works that in a way that it doesn't know fact from fiction. It only lets in what you're telling yourself. So if it recognizes you're telling yourself all these positive things, and it's gonna let in ideas and things that are going to support what it thinks is important to you. Which is why if you're telling yourself negative things, it's like not letting in the positive ideas, the creative new ways, people who might, have an impact on you learning something. Because if you're negative and you're telling yourself a negative story, then you're blocking that. It's like your mind is working against you. It's blocking those other alternatives out. So if you keep doing this, if you keep telling yourself this positive new story, then you're going to start to see ideas and things that you never would have seen before. Maybe a new way to engage your kids, maybe a new way to do the laundry, maybe somebody else you can follow, or a way that you can learn what you need to learn. Does that make sense? Another way of doing this is, you can add these two together, is to create the new neural pathways by picking a few scripts. And we do this a lot in the masterclass. And that's, I am so happy to have an orderly home and happy kids, or I am becoming more disciplined each day. And then you write this out multiple times a day, morning, evening, maybe stick it on a sticky note where you can come across it. And it's rewiring your subconscious mind to work the same way. Yeah, I am because then you're going to start to think of yourself, I'm a more disciplined person, and now I can follow a routine. I am so happy to be following this new routine. So that's how this works. Keep reminders of this mindset in front of you all the time. And like I said, if you can keep this up for a couple of days, you're going to start to notice a difference. Your energy is going to be better. You're going to be more excited. Your kids are going to follow suit. And that's the idea. The more you're putting out a positive, I'm going to say vibe, but you know what I mean, a positive attitude, your kids are going to pick up on that. And so guess what? You'll have a happy attitude, happy kids, and a happy home. You can have it all. And then if you need to, once you get your mindset in the right place, if you realize, again, like I said, assuming you don't need, or you have already taken care of the professional aspect of it for mental health issues or ADHD issues, you take care of the mindset, then you can look and say, okay, what skills do I really need to learn? Do I need to learn how to follow a routine? Do I need to learn how to be more disciplined? Do I need to learn how to set boundaries, or, actually really need to learn how to clean a house? Like, I don't know how to dust properly. I don't know how to wash a floor, all that kind of stuff. And then because your mindset is already in the right place, learning those skills is going to be a whole lot easier. So really, I'd say if you've got a good mindset about your house, about your family, about how you run your home, then look to the skills. But if not, work on that mindset first. And we can go even deeper than this. But for this episode, I just want you to try and figure out where your stumbling block is. And then guess what? My small group masterclass can teach you all of these things. I'm starting another class soon, so I'm going to put a link in the show notes. You can contact me and let me know that you are ready to live a life where you can have an orderly home that makes you happy, as well as having happy kids. It's possible. And if you're really struggling in this area, which I know so many women are, because they just don't know what to do, and they're being told you can't have both. It's either me, the house, or the kids. I saw that one too today. No. To a certain extent, it can be all of them, or at least all of them, to a point where you're happy with it. Don't let social media tell you what you can and can't have. Right? So if you're ready to dump that mindset and dump that negative attitude, then let me know. Contact me and say, I am ready. I want to learn. And I will get in touch with you. And I want to thank you for listening. And please let me know what you think. Are you happy with your home? Do you feel it has to be either or? Is that the ideas that you've kind of been dealing with? And then share this episode with other moms who you know are struggling with the same thing. Because, let's help everybody, right? Then like and subscribe to my podcast, this YouTube channel, wherever you're watching or listening. And I will see you next week. God bless.